not going to be the next Mr. Beast. But if you're a professional coach, consultant, or service-based business owner and you get even just 5% of his YouTube success, you've made it. And I'm going to share with you exactly what I picked up from Mr. Beast himself and how you can make it on YouTube. And here's the thing. If you're a professional coach, consultant, or service-based business owner in the B2B space, YouTube is just one way for you to reach out to your niche audience. And we want to connect with people who truly need our services. And yes, that's exactly how we make a living. But we're not here to make money off of our YouTube content. Look, Mr. Beast is by trade a content creator. His entire calling is creating videos to entertain, inspire, make an impact, and make a change. And this man lives and breathes YouTube.
This is what I'm doing to the day I die. I don't care. Like, I love this more than anything. Nothing's ever brought me a fraction of the joy.
And it's his entire livelihood and his way of giving back to the world. Yes, he's ventured into burgers and chocolates, but his foundation is YouTube content creation. And he is the king of YouTube for a reason. Every single video he puts out is a massive viral hit.
I've literally been hiring and rebuilding systems for like the last 4 to 5 years now to like perfect how to like make a viral video. Like we have it down to a science.
Yeah.
Now I know what to do, and it's easy to replicate it. But figuring it out took forever.
So even if you're not here to monetize your channel, although it certainly wouldn't hurt, and you're only really interested in reaching a smaller demographic, Mr. Beast is the one person you should listen to if you want your videos to make more impact. Why? Because he is proof with way over 200 million total subscribers. Let's start with the dreaded algorithm. I want you to listen first to what Mr. Beast had to say about it.
So at the end of the day, if you boil it down, what YouTube wants is they want people to click on a video and they want to watch it. Like at its core, that's what it is. Now, you can like draw little lines and go as deep as you want into how to get people to click and to how to get people to watch. I mean, essentially, by studying the algorithm, you'll learn that you're more studying human psychology, right? What do humans want to watch? What do they find enjoying? Not because like, anytime you say the word algorithm, just replace it with audience, and it works perfectly. Like the algorithm didn't like that video. No, the audience didn't like that video. Now, you know, because literally that's it. If people are clicking and watching, then it gets promoted more, and that's all. That's literally all the algorithm does is reflect what the people want to a T. And if you deny that, you just make terrible videos and are trying to find a scapegoat.
This isn't to say that things like SEO or keywords don't matter, but if we're not getting views on our videos, instead of trying to keep problem solving the algorithm, we focus on whether or not we're actually making videos people want to click on and watch. Dissect what's going on with your title, your thumbnail, your video, and if they see it, will they click on it? And if they click on it, are they going to keep watching, or are they just going to move on to the next video? This brings us to the next tip. Keep your titles short and irresistible and make it make sense.
If someone reads it, are they like, do they have to watch it? Is it just so intrinsically interesting that it's just gonna with them if they don't click on it? You know what I mean? Ideally, it's a title also that, you know, because the titles don't live in a vacuum, right? So it has to lead into the content. So ideally the title represents content that you would want to watch for 20 minutes. So if it's a 20-minute video and the title is I stepped on a bug, it's not gonna, because it's all of it combined. The click-through rate is going to be much lower than if it was like a 5-second video. People might click it. So you gotta, like, even nuances of the length of the video based against the title will affect whether people want to click it, because sometimes they just all add up. I mean, it's that, yes, ideally you want it below 50 characters, because above 50 characters on certain devices, you run the chance of it going ... So like, I took a light pole and I saw how many dollar bills I could stack on top, and they would just go ... because it's too long and it can't finish it. And that's the worst thing, because then people don't even know what they're clicking on. And so it's going to do even worse. Short, simple, ideally, and just so freaking interesting. They have to click. and it is a good segue into the content, and it represents the length of the content.
Keep it within the 50 characters so it doesn't cut off in mobile and other platforms. Make the title so compelling that people go, I really need to watch this. The title must complement the thumbnail and vice versa. Make it make sense. The topic the title describes should make sense with the length and content of your video, and that's because
essentially your title and thumbnail set expectations, and at the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met.
if you see this really interesting title and a matching thumbnail that piqued your curiosity, and you see that the first 5 to 10 seconds of the video and it's about something completely different, you're probably going to close it out immediately. You really have to think about your hook, not just in the sense that it's shocking or catchy, but it should match the promise of your title and thumbnail and build on that promise so they're hyped up for the payoff in your video. How do you think I did with this hook? And hooks have become even more crucial ever since YouTube introduced autoplay.
Before it was important because you had to convince people to watch.
Yeah.
Now you have to convince people to click and watch at the same time.
Depending on where they're watching, those first 5 seconds is going to be the deciding factor on whether or not they're clicking on your video. And once they've clicked, the challenge is to keep them watching.
A lot of people, sometimes it takes them like 20 seconds to really meet the expectations, and so you lose, like, that's where you're going to lose everyone. Everyone's videos start like this, and then it levels off. So you want to reduce the amount of people that click off on the audience retention graph. I hope you're popping up graphs while I'm saying this, so it's easier for people to visualize. But so then once you get it to level off, it's just how do you keep it level until the end of the video? And that's where you want to have, basically want to remove every dull moment. You probably want to find the 10 most critical people you know, make them watch the video and just roast it. You basically pay people to watch the videos on frame, and then just have them record it. And I love just seeing like when they pick up their phones and when they get bored, and like, you know, certain things, like if I just talk to a camera for 10 seconds without a cut, like a lot of people will just like get bored or they'll lose interest. So like having a B cam and a C cam, and just, you can just talk for 10 seconds, but 3 seconds in cutting to a B cam and then a C cam, like now it's more interesting, even though it's essentially the same thing and not that crazy. But you want to have good pacing. Typically having a payoff at the end keeps them, right? Last leave circle wins 10 grand. If there is a low moment halfway through, you're going to watch to the end because you want to see who wins the 10 grand. So having a good payoff at the end.
Take a look at your YouTube stats right now and take note of your drop-off rate. The drop-off in the first few seconds to a minute normally has the most climatic drop-off. And then it plateaus because after the first minute, they've made a decision to keep watching because you've convinced them enough that the payoff is worth it. And if your drop-off is always so exponentially high, you really, really need to work on your hook and your intro. You want to minimize that drop-off rate and get more people to watch all the way through. But that doesn't mean that you're just going to wing the rest of the video. You want to make sure that you keep them locked in and deliver on the payoff that you promised. Because as MrBeast explains in this clip, you have to stop thinking of click-through rate as just titles and thumbnails. Your entire video is a click-through to the rest of your catalog.
A lot of creators think click-through rate is just like the title and thumbnail and did they click it, but a lot of it too is, did they enjoy your last video? You know what I mean? Like, because if someone watches a video of yours and they loved it, you can bet the next time you're recommended, their chance of clicking is a lot higher, you know? So it's like, is it something that can be entertaining for a long time? Is it something that if they watch this next time, you know, they see a video of mine, will they be excited? Like, I loved that last one, so I want to watch the next one. Like those two type of things. And then obviously, you know, is it just interesting and clickable?
Even if you successfully get people to watch your entire video, if they decide to never watch from you again, it's not a good thing for your algorithm. Every video you have on your channel is a hook and intro to the rest of your catalog. So you really have to make sure that you're making well thought out, high quality videos every single time. You can't just upload for the sake of uploading, even if you know yourself the content is worthless. Just think about how one video can affect your entire catalog, especially if you're just starting. And it all starts with having interesting, compelling, and watchable ideas ideas and concepts for videos. MrBeast takes brainstorming so seriously that he has an entire team just to make sure that he always has new inspiration for ideas.
My well of knowledge needs to constantly be expanding, so I have more things to draw inspiration from our ideas. If not, you're going to get the same ideas over and over again. So it happens for a lot of creators. That's why their videos are repetitive and always the same thing. Because if you're not constantly learning new things, then your ideas are just limited to what's in your head, and eventually you're going to drain it. That's how I've seen it. It's not so linear. Point is, I need to always be taking things. So I have a team of people who are just helping just dump and beat new things in my head so I can get inspired.
And he understands that learning is an ongoing process. You can't stay insulated within your head. Eventually, the ideas are going to feel repetitive and stale.
No, I mean, I just got back from a mastermind where I just got like, 10 of the smartest people I knew, and we just locked ourselves in a cabin and taught each other stuff. Constantly, every day, not every day now, probably every other day, I go on a walk and I just call random people. I'll just say, teach me something. You just have to have a never-ending thirst for learning.
Now, of course, if you're a professional coach, consultant, or service-based business owner in something like HR, accounting, or the analytics industry, videos like being buried alive for 7 days or hosting Squid Games challenges are probably not up your alley, but I know you know the voice of your industry. Your industry is your territory, and you know exactly what they're looking for and what they want to hear more about. And you can get really creative on how to deliver that information to them. You just have to keep working at it and try these last 2 tips from MrBeast. For every single video you make, do something to improve.
Make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking, like maybe you can get some views, but your first 100 are gonna suck. There are very freak cases like Liza Koshy or Emma Chamberlain who have really good personalities and it doesn't take them as many videos. And it's just like people who are 7'5" and making the NBA. Like, yes, there are freak cases you can find, but for the average person like us, who don't have these exceptional personalities and, backgrounds in filmmaking, just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video.
And he's absolutely right. Not all of us are naturally charismatic like Liza Koshy or Emma Chamberlain or, well, MrBeast. But if you have something important to say, you owe it to yourself to keep trying and keep improving. And finally, as cliche as it sounds, being in good company is absolutely essential to your success.
The friends that I hung out with had such a dramatic impact on where I am. Like I'd probably have 80 million less subscribers, if I wasn't so strategic about hanging out with people that I add value to and they also add value to me.
Imagine a world where it's just you working solo and you work 12 hours a day every day for like a year, and you're just grinding, you make a mistake, you learn from it, you grind, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and you do that for like a year. And then imagine a different world where you have 4 friends who are also equally grinding in something similar. Friend number 1 makes a mistake on Friday. He teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake the next week, teaches everyone. And then like you're all learning from each other's mistakes. You're all constantly studying 24/7 and downloading each other. Like after a year, you're like 2 years ahead of the guy who was just solo.
Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who's on this journey with you? Are they any good for you? And just as important, are you good for them? Thanks so much for watching. If you want to know how a billionaire would start from $0 in 2024, check out this video here.